Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Jet back with another trading video. It has been a minute, and today I'm going to be talking about how I just passed my evaluation and some things that I've learned from it because this is obviously not my first time passing an evaluation account, but I feel like things have significantly changed in my trading and in myself as a person. And I wanted to just give myself some time and space from making content, from really posting anything and work in and really lock in my craft and what I do because I truly enjoy trading and I believe that it has the ability to change my life completely. So I'm working towards that. So real quick, I'm going to show you guys right here. This is my dashboard for Top Step. As you see, 50K trading combine reset. And I was in the mud, guys. The last time I made a video on this channel, I think I was talking about some stuff about me losing my phone back in, I think it was May. And before that, I had some funded accounts. I thought I was doing well in my trading, and I ended up blowing those up just because I didn't deserve those accounts. I didn't have good risk management. I was over trading, and I went on tilt and blew them. So here we are with this was a new eval, and I really it's a journey, as you can see by the curve right here, that we started off the first 3 days. They were losing days, and then we turned it all around and pretty much won every single day except one, uh, and that was a small loss. So today I want to just go over some things that I've learned because I've spent probably the last like 45 minutes looking over my account and my stats and stuff like that and really just reflecting because I have grown tremendously in the last couple months in my trading, and I believe that if I can copy and make some adjustments to some of the things that helped me pass this account, that potentially I could be having some life-changing stuff go on. But at the same time, I don't want to give too much. I don't want to gas myself up because every time it seems like you get a funded, there's an opportunity to make money. It all blows up because you're making too much of it. And real quick, one of my reflections and one of the things that keep me from doing well, as pretty much every single trader, is the obsession with the idea of making money. And obviously, that is the root of all trading. You know, the idea that you can put money into the market, multiply it, and make even more. And the fact that this money has the ability, the opportunity to change your life tremendously. And obviously when you're on social media and you're seeing people with all these wins, posting all their only wins and their lifestyle, there's a part of you that believes that you can do that too. So when you trade with the idea in your head that this is gonna do this and that for you, when in reality you need to create structure, you need to have a system in place because realistically, right, for any ambitious trader, you have the idea that this can provide a supplemental amount of income to you, right? This can potentially help you out in one way or another in your life depending on what you want to do with it. And in other words, that would make this a job, right? You're spending time and you're getting paid for it. So why do most people not act like it? And I know certainly myself was not acting like this is a job. I was treating it like a side hustle and in many ways gambling. And the truth is that all successful traders have a system and they treat this like a job. They take a loss, they know that comes down to probability. So they have a system that works, that's in place. They know that they win a certain amount of trades and they lose a certain amount of trades. And if they have a strict RR, risk reward, in place, then it's pretty much impossible to lose. And the only time you end up blowing your account, the only time you end up really doing something bad, having some self sabotage, is when you think you're bigger than the system. When you think you can beat it and you can't. Because this is statistical. It is. Yeah, sometimes you're gonna go like on a 20, 30 day streak and you feel like you're untouchable, and then those same people that go on those streaks will blow it all up in 2 days because they have no system in place, and all successful traders have that. So yeah, a little bit later into the video I'm gonna break down what exactly my rules are that I created, because I literally, like, you can see my notebook right here. I wrote pretty much 2 whole pages breaking down all my thoughts on this account, because, well, some people may think, well, James, you're doing too much. It's literally just an eval. Like, some people pass that in 2 days, and yeah, very, very well, I could pass it in 2 days. I'm sure I've passed before accounts in 2 days, but this is different, and I don't want to be on some skeptical. Oh, this is different. This is the time that I make a difference. In a way, it does feel like that, but it does come down to, like, words don't mean anything. I can say this and that, and it doesn't mean anything. The truth is that I can see in this account versus before that I have those good habits in sight. And even within the time that I had this account, I improved tremendously. My first day I had a bad loss. I was coming off of some other blown evals, and I did the same thing. Over trading. I think I took like 4 or 5 trades this day, and I took a bad loss. I didn't liquidate myself, but I was able to step away with a big loss, but nonetheless step away. Next day, loss, but a small loss. And again, third day, loss, but a small loss. And then next day, we got a big win. Win, small loss, win, win, win. And it's not about winning, because if it took me 20 days to pass this challenge, if it took me 15, yeah, it's an evaluation. So, according to the idea of wanting to pass a account and get live account, you do want to get over it, because you're not being rewarded paper trading on these accounts to pass them, right? But in theory, you want to practice those good habits so you can apply them no matter what the situation is. And that's where I'm coming from, because, I could have that funded account in my hands given to me. And if I don't have the ability to trade, according to my rules, risk management, all of that, I'm going to lose the account like the rest. So I'm really trying my best to break out of that shell and do something that I know works, and trying my best to work within my limits, even though there's these emotions and things that will come up that prevent you from succeeding. And you have to do some deep diving and analysis and suffer time after time to finally start to feel like, man, I deserve better. And I truly do. And I believe that I have the ability, I have the understanding enough, and it can always be better, of the market to have my slight edge and take advantage of it and get money out of the market, not give money to the market. You understand? So yeah, let me go over a couple things that I realized from my evaluation. So the biggest thing is over trading, and somewhere on my stats, on I believe it was my Top Step X dashboard, it was showing how many trades and average trades I take, and the average amount of trades I took was 7, which some of that is like, it's not fully 7 because I'm trading with micros, so it's a little different, or I made a couple mistakes which added trades, but nonetheless 7 trades, which is crazy. So as a result of over trading, there's so many times where I've been green on the day and I end up turning it red because I'm greedy, source of greed, money, wanting more money, or I really am just hungry for a trade because I want to make money, and as a result of taking low probability setups, I'm one, wrecking my mental potentially for the next setup, which can cause me to tilt and lose money, blow my accounts. I also take away my ability to be sharp for when a good opportunity comes, because if I take a small loss, I'm going to be affected somewhat, and I may not be fully able to spot something quality. And that's happened to me plenty of times. I take a trade that's just incorrect, and that happens. And as a result of that loss, I'm holding on to that feeling, and I'm not allowing myself to acknowledge it, journal it, and move forward for the next moment. So I set a rule in place: 2 trades a day, and I will follow this until my first payout, at least until my first payout. And I will be taking maximum 2 trades a day. And the truth is that if my first trade is a win, then I'm done. It doesn't matter how much I win. I'm off the charts. And if it's a small loss, if it's a manageable loss, if it's a decent risk. We'll get into that in a second. Then I'll be able to take another trade. And no matter how that trade goes, I'll be done. Small loss and then a win, I'm done. Small loss and then another loss, I'm done. 2 trades max. That's how I keep my account safe and I preserve my account for the next trading day because, you know, I've dealt with this so many times that I've had days where it's really your ego that can't accept that it can take a loss, that you're wrong, something isn't right, and you need to just step away and just do something with your day because the charge trading isn't your life. You have all these other things that you need to take care of. I know certainly I do. I have a lot of things on my board, and you just gotta keep it pushing. Like a win, a loss, it doesn't define you. And if you tilt and you overtrade and you end up blowing your account, then you're not gonna have the opportunity to trade in the next day. And maybe you were wrong, maybe you were right and you were oversizing. Maybe there's a lot of things wrong, but if you don't give yourself a chance to survive to the next day, you'll never know. Um, Another thing is that I would be strictly taking high quality setups. And older me was really just hungry to make money once again, and I was really trying to take anything that I thought aligned with my strategy. And the truth is that I didn't fully understand my strategy, and it's not perfect yet, but I certainly have a good idea of what works for me now, and really just riding those A setups to the moon because that's going to take me to the promised land. All these little trades, cutting out those small losses usually stem from incorrect trades. Like, truth be told, that yeah, obviously you're not going to win every trade, but if you have a strategy that you've back tested, that you've gone over historical data and you've looked at how it works, you have a pretty good understanding of what will work out in the market and what won't. And you know, to be honest, when you take a loss, it's usually a reason. It's like, there's a difference between a stupid loss where, it's just incorrect and the market like just invalidated your trade. And it's another thing when, you're not paying attention or you're really just hungry for money. You see a move and you hop onto it and you take a loss because no reason. You don't even know why you got into the trade really. You just saw a candle moving rapidly in one direction and you want to catch that. It's not how it works, bro. You will be punished for doing things that don't align with your plan and rules. And it's a funny way that I think the universe like almost treats us because, when you do what you're supposed to do, things magically start to work out. And as soon as you slip up on that, you will be punished. And that applies to any area of life. So, yeah, really just taking high quality setups only. And as you see, like these last couple days on the account, I was taking high quality setups, and I mean, I'm banging big numbers on these days, and it's not about the money. I promise you, it's not about the money, bro. Yes, I want to get a payout. Yes, I want trading to change my life, but it's about the system and it's about who I am as an individual that will define my trading. And I think a lot of people lack that understanding. Next thing is journaling every trade, and that's something I do struggle with because sometimes like I had days where I would take multiple trades, and either I step away from the charts and I don't journal anything, and then I'm confused when I do want to journal. Um, Journaling really helps you understand everything, your thought process, what's going on in the market, what you can do better. It is it's a teacher in a big way, and it's a way that you can keep progress of your trading, of your improvements, your analysis, looking at over a period of time, what certain conditions did you trade in or times, etc., that worked best for you, and really just like getting the little things down. And I think trading is self mastery, right? Like that's the best way to describe it, that you are on this journey of improving your understanding of the markets and yourself. And the biggest way is to write down what is going on in order to keep track of that. And then you reflect on that and you become better as a result. Because if you're just simply going through the motions and just doing the same thing every day and not, and you're losing, for instance, like you just keep failing, Well, if you don't look at what you're doing, you don't deep dive, nothing's going to change. And even if you are winning, there's always something that can be better. And that's what I love about trading, because people want to call themselves so-called masters of the markets, and yeah, they're very experienced. They've seen a lot of things over the years, but you can never fully master the market because there's constantly things that are changing, economic stuff, just certain like volatility in the market, and it's amazing because there's constantly something that you can learn or work upon. At the same time, once you have it figured out, it's pretty robotic. You just wait for your strategy to come into place, and you execute accordingly. But like I said, journaling, it's helped me tremendously in terms of reflecting on my trades, understanding what went right, what went wrong, and really just improving for the future. Obviously, follow my rules, and that will take me to where I want to be. And as soon as I break them, I should have some sort of like punishment in place in case I break it. Maybe I'll like implement some sort of like break from trading just so I don't tilt, because I know like that definitely is an area where I'm vulnerable. All right, we'll circle back to that. But yeah, as much as I know about the market, actively backtesting recent PA to have an understanding of what went wrong, what went right in the week, and how the market is reacting and what type of setups are presenting. Because you can have a model and you could have seen how it was playing out, for instance, like a couple months ago, but now the market conditions are a little different and things are moving maybe to certain levels more often than not, little things like that. And like I said, journaling is going to help you figure that all out. So that was all my kind of simple thoughts. And then as a result of that, I decided to make some rules. And these are my rules, which I will be following on my new funded account. And real quick, I'll show you guys just to show you that I'm not a fraud. Here we go. Hi, James. Hola, James. Congratulations on becoming a Top Step Fund trader. Okay, it's not my first time. I've been a dumbass and I've fumbled a couple before. I'm not going to say this time is different, but I'm going to definitely treat it differently, okay? And we don't know what's going to happen. But I'm going to do everything I can in my power to be the best possible trader. So, what are my rules that are going to help me be that fire-ass trader? The one that's going to change my life. And eventually, maybe I can help a couple of you with this content. Because, all right, let's be real, bro. I might have been, like, calm yapping in the beginning. But, like, bro, most people that you see teaching trading, they're boring, bro. Yes, obviously trading is boring, but like that, bro, they have no personality. They're like, bro, it's so boring watching some of these trading YouTubers, bro. Like I dead ass be falling asleep. ICT, bro, he's the worst of the worst. But honestly, like we need some energy in this space, and that's also a reason why I took some time away from making videos and all of that, because I felt like I was genuinely not providing any quality, bro. Like I was just kind of going through the motions, wanting to put stuff out when my days were good, and it's almost like putting up this persona that I'm this certain trader, because I tell all these people that I trade and stuff, and I still contemplate if advertising and making content when I did was the best decision. But everything happens for a reason, and I took a necessary break in order to improve as a trader. So now, after all of this pain and suffering and experiences that I've endured, I'm able to hopefully come out on top and learn, and everything happens for a reason. So um, I told you guys what I learned so far from that, and now we're gonna get into my rules that I'm gonna implement every single day on this new funded account in order to hopefully find some success, right? All right, so first thing, forget about the market, bro. What am I doing before the market? What's the pre-market check? Waking up, all of that. All right, so question, how am I feeling? Did I sleep well? Am I hydrated, fed? Did I do my morning routine? I have a whole little intricate morning routine. I try to be healthy. I consider myself a pretty healthy guy. I eat good. I sleep well. I take care of myself. I'm active. I'm an athlete, as some of you may know. So that's a big thing. Obviously, assessing where you are mentally is going to help you significantly in figuring out what are you even capable of trading, because in trading it's not like a regular job where you are rewarded for the amount of time that you put into it, right? No, you are rewarded for your quality of decisions, okay? Every time you take a trade, you are deciding to buy or sell, whatever the case, right? So, if you're not feeling well, if you're not in a state where you think you're capable of operating, well, you probably shouldn't be trading because you're pretty likely to crash out because it's just easier. That's how it is. Trading is hella stimulating, and if you're not in the state of mind to do that, things can go wrong because there's a million other people in the market that are operating at full capacity, that are hungry, and that are following the rules and everything. So, one, assessing how I'm feeling, and if I'm not feeling, this is something that I should work on. That when I'm not feeling good, I skip out on trading. But I know that in the future I will implement that, and I have done it. In past days, I have done it that when I'm not feeling well or whatever the case, or I was out late the night before, that's probably best for me just not to trade. Or if I know like some big event just happened in the market and there's a ton of volatility and it's not ideal trading conditions, stepping away. So, I hope no one heard that. Uh, Next thing is once I have my whole morning routine and everything, I'm mentally prepared. I hop on the charts and I determine my bias, right? You see, a lot of people have their like daily bias going into the day. And I would say I'm generally pretty loose in terms of what I'm trading because a lot of people like they'll only take a trade specifically if it's a bullish trade or specifically if it's a bearish trade. And obviously, you're going to be leaning towards one or the other more depending on what the market conditions are, right? But something may happen before you're able to take a trade, perhaps, and that might have to change, or there's an opportunity to catch a certain thing into a gap. So, obviously, not breaking down the technical side of things, what is my higher time frame bias and what is price doing and how is price reacting, how is price flowing, is it bullish, is it bearish, and to break that down a little more, in terms of defining that bullish or bearish order flow, what significant PD arrays are there and how is price reacting to those, is it disrespecting it, is it respecting it, and then once I have my bias and order overall idea of what price is doing on the day and where the draws on liquidity are, I'm going to mark out all my key levels. So my key levels being significant range highs and lows, PD arrays, so inefficiencies, whether that be 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 minute, maybe 5 minute, um, untapped gaps, some rejection blocks, order blocks, and equilibrium. So the range of the chart. Sorry, I'm getting a little tired. But yeah, so this is also mad sauce, by the way. Like, I'm literally telling you everything you need to be a good trader. Um, I'm trying. I'm trying. So once I have my trading setup complete, it's time to trade, right? This is live trading. We're in it. This is our job. Ready to roll. So upon entering a trade, I have to ask myself, does this trade have all the valid confluences that align with my higher time frame narrative? Because keyword higher time frame narrative, it's really easy to get zoomed in on the 1 minute, on the 30 second, and forget what's going on the higher time frame. You might see a small inversion, but it doesn't mean anything because some significant level hasn't been hit. So this could just be an IFVG that goes and taps a small level inside to continue higher, whatever the case. So does this trade have all the valid confluences that I align with my higher time frame narrative? And I do plan on making breakdowns of my trades. You guys have seen some of my trades before. Really just ask yourself, does everything that I want, that I know works out in a trade, showing itself? in this trade that I'm about to take? And if not, then no. Like, there's no reason. It doesn't feel like you should not feel okay with taking something if there's no reason behind it. Okay. So, is my model present? Are all the confluences present? Etc. So, next thing is trading. How many trades am I taking? And like I said earlier, I've been over trading, and that's led to a lot of unnecessary losses that end up either taking me, just chipping on my P&L and making things take longer than they should. For instance, like taking longer to pass this account, or you want to reach a certain milestone, earnings wise, and you're really just chipping into that overall total or working towards a payout. So, in order to prevent over trading, I am setting a strict limit on myself. 2 trades max. Dos trades max. Okay? That's all you fucking need. That's all you need, bro. 2 trades. 2 trades. And first trade, obviously, A plus. If it's a big win, or if it's a win nonetheless, I'm done, bro. Why I gotta trade? Like, I made money and I want more. That's crazy. I have the blessing of being able to wake up, work at 9:30, 10 in the morning, potentially make money within 30 minutes span of time, and then have the freedom to do whatever I need to with my day. And the fact that I would say, oh, that's not enough, and I want to continue to trade, in addition, risk the money that I was just blessed with making, that's crazy, bro. So until, maybe I grow my margin, and definitely after I get my first payout, then I can maybe consider looking to take a couple trades in the day, as there are multiple valid setups. But if I've made money off of one setup, why? Why risk it? And in the case that I take a loss, one, if it's okay, so I have kind of a loose conditions based off of that first loss. So if that first loss is one um suitable in size, meaning I can afford to take another loss after this loss, that's one. Two, if it's a big loss and or it's something that's made me upset, potentially tilted me, I'll either go and assess what's best for me next or just stop after that first loss. Really, I want to work on getting this down to a science where I have like kind of like certain checklists, or really like just you know I, fuck I'm panicking, bro. I've been talking for too long. Sorry guys. Really brain fart. Really having it down to where, do I feel good after taking that first loss? Can I afford to take another trade, knowing, accepting that there is a risk of losing again, and would I be okay after that? Okay, so nonetheless, even if I take 2 losses in a row, it would be risk management involved that I am okay, I'm comfortable with taking those 2 losses on the day, and my account can afford it. Okay, that is why risk management is so crucial. And in the future, I'm gonna make a video going over my exact risk management, my trading strategy, and all the little things I look for in the market. Uh, I'm just I can't be asked to do that right now, and this is obviously a different video. This is talking about what I realized from passing my account, becoming funded again, and how am I going to operate on this account? What am I going to do in order to find success? Because obviously, I don't know if you could tell already by some things I said in this video, but I'll be making a series like I've tragically failed before, documenting the process of getting a payout. But it's different this time. And I'll tell you why it's different. Because I have it down. I have things more figured out. I have failed so many times. I've put myself through these instances of self sabotage and being so obsessed with the idea of getting that payout that I forgot the whole point of it. And it's being a disciplined trader and following my rules, and everything will follow behind that. So, really, I just spit literally everything I need in order to be a profitable trader, to find success. And now those words mean nothing until I can prove myself day after day, and show that there is proof in the pudding, but I have to make the pudding first. So, yeah. I hope you guys got something out of this. If you made it to the end, I really appreciate it. I know it was a yap session, but um, it's an important video, and I hope some of you guys can get something out of it. And if not, thank you for making it, taking your time to watch this video. And yeah, stay tuned. We're gonna have a Road to Funded new series coming very soon. So stay tuned. I'll be posting all my socials as well. I'm not gonna do too much. Like I'm not gonna be spamming in terms of like trading. I really wanna focus on quality and really being my best self, because as of right now, the job's far from done. I have so much to prove to myself. But I do think also making these videos will help me be accountable, because obviously knowing that there's some of you guys waiting um, to tune in maybe, or just see what's going on, or someone randomly gets advertised my video on YouTube, that I'm showing quality, because I don't want to be like 99% of these traders out here on these platforms that are just posting the post. No, I genuinely care about the quality of the work that I put out, because all of this stuff at the end of the day is tied to my name. And if I truly want to do something with this, I want that to mean something, okay? And just because I also have respect for what I put out, and I want everything that's associated in my name to be quality, because that's all I believe I am. I am quality, and I will show nothing but quality. So, thank you guys, like I said, for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Let's go, baby.